Hey yo, welcome to Roots and Rights, Securing Tomorrow. I'm your host, Attorney Greg Robinson. Now, today we're talking about estate planning essentials, especially for families and business owners. So this episode's got a little something for everybody trying to protect what matters most. All right, I gotta start here. Probate. I know, nobody wants to deal with probate court, and honestly, there's a reason for that. Probate just has this way of draining an estate right out from under a family. I mean, court costs, attorney fees, delays, and sometimes pure confusion between family members. I wrote a blog called "Don't Let Probate Drain Your Estate." Had to put that exclamation point on there because I feel strongly about this. So, let me tell you about Miss Smith. She came to my office a while back. Just a sweet lady, wanted to make things easy for her daughters. We sat down, got her set up with a living will and a trust. And let me tell you, when she did pass, her family avoided all the usual complications. There were no surprise court dates, no arguments about what mama wanted. That's why I say, planning now is a gift to your loved ones. Now look, avoiding probate isn't rocket science. Folks get overwhelmed because of all the legalese, but really, you can take some simple steps. 1. Get your wills and trusts in order. 2. Make sure your beneficiaries are updated on things like insurance policies or retirement accounts. And 3. Don't leave folks guessing about your wishes. That's how estates get drained, and families lose more than just money. Y'all. All right, before we go further, let me just say, don't wait till it's too late. I see it too often. It's always better to sit down, uncomfortable as it might be, and talk through what'll happen when you aren't here. Trust me, it saves so much heartache down the line. Now, I want to transition a bit to something that hits home for a lot of families, especially down here in the South, heirs property. If you've read my blog, or even if you haven't, this is one of those issues that sneaks up on families. Basically, heirs property is land handed down without a clear will, so it's jointly owned by a bunch of relatives, sometimes people you never even met, or folks who live way across the country. I had a case not too long ago. Family land, been in the same hands for generations, but nobody ever put anything in writing. One cousin got in financial trouble, and because the title wasn't clean, nearly the whole property was lost at auction. I'm not making that up. We had to step in, bring folks together, and get everyone on the same page. With a lot of legal work and, honestly, some hard conversations. It took the law and people stepping up for their family to turn things around. But Lord, it would have been easier if they'd handled it before things went sideways. So what can you do? Number 1. Identify your property. Know who's on the deed. If you own land with relatives but don't have legal documents in place, now's the time. Number 2, communicate. Set up a family meeting. Don't just hope things will sort themselves out. And number 3, get advice from someone who understands the law and the culture behind land ownership. I always say, heirs property is more than just paperwork. It's about legacy. Don't let silence or assumptions cost your family their roots. I'm passionate about this because when families protect their property, they're preserving history, wealth, and identity. You put in the work now, and you give the next generation a real platform to stand on. Enough of my soapbox. Where was I? Right. Let's get to the business side of things. Let's shift gears a little, because business owners, this next bit is for you. And honestly, I draw a lot from my own background here. Before law, I was in finance and consulting, so I've seen how quickly things fall apart when there's no plan. I wrote about this in Why Every Small Business Needs an Estate Plan. It's one of those things small business owners overlook until it's too late. Take the Wood family, for example. They came to me in their 60s, no kids, owned a small business, and I'll admit, they felt a little embarrassed not having anything in place. We work together to set up a trust, some living wills, the whole suite of documents. Their assets are now protected, and most importantly, their business can go on according to their wishes, not just whatever the state says in a default scenario. If you're a business owner, here's my advice. Get your operating agreement right. Make sure you have a buy-sell clause if there are partners. Designate successors, and absolutely review your insurance and beneficiary designations. Don't just lean on a handshake or vague promises to family members or staff. A rock-solid estate plan keeps your business and your legacy from fading away if something happens to you. Look, I'm passionate about helping folks, from parents to entrepreneurs, protect what they've worked so hard for. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you do have to take action. And if you feel overwhelmed, that's normal. But reach out to the Robinson Advocacy Group at 334-440-6165 for advice. That's what I'm here for. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode of Roots and Rights, Securing Tomorrow. If you found this valuable, share it with your people, and know that we'll be back soon with more real talk and solutions to protect your family and your legacy. Take care.